Okay, hello. Welcome to the Katie Black Show. This is still my Swiftie series, and today I have Swiftie number 9, and you are...
It's Noel Bergeron.
Welcome, Noel.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
Yay, ditto. And real quick, not that this is related, but we had a cat growing up named Noel, so I was just curious, like, the history of your name.
You're the second person I know with a cat named Noel, actually. Really? I was supposed to be born at Christmas, but I came late, so I actually share a birthday with Elvis and David Bowie.
Stop. So that would be January 6th.
January 8th.
Oh, man.
No.
I was close. I was close.
So close.
But still, that's super trippy and cool. I love that.
Yeah. It is cool. Also, it's Kim Jong-un's birthday, the communist leader of North Korea, so...
he doesn't count.
It's a toss in the Capricorn realm.
True. And I just remembered, too, one of my besties from college, Sarah, is an January 8th baby, because of I always remember the Elvis scenario. But anywho, real quick before we get into Taylor, where were you born / where'd you grow up, and what was that like?
So I was actually born in Atlanta, Georgia, a piece of a town down. And I lived there for like a short time. I was kind of raised like for the most of my like influential years in Athens, Georgia. So Bulldogs fan, raised between the hedges. Then my parents moved to Charlotte. Stayed here for a while. Then I did go to Cleveland, Ohio for college, and it turns out I'm not really made for like that climate. Mm-hmm. Finished school for dental hygiene.
Stop.
Came back. Yeah. I know, I could never. I did my clinicals and I saw inside some people's teeth and I was like, pass.
Yeah, no.
It was not for me. But then I moved to St. Simon's Island, Georgia. My dad actually had a houseboat there at a marina, so I lived on a houseboat for like a year and a half.
Okay.
I worked waitressing at a marina restaurant, and then my dad was like, I'm selling the boat. And I was like, no. And so I decided to move back to Charlotte where my mom was living. Now I've been here since.
And you're a yogi.
I am a yogi, yeah, through and through.
Was that something that, like, you were, like, how long have you been doing yogi? Like, because for me, it's always been, like, I'm in and out of it, which is, like, I'm in and out of it.
You know what's crazy? My yoga journey was, like, really weird because I grew up in, like, the Y2K, like, skinny era, so there was, like, an interesting, like, realm of health and fitness at that time. Yeah, we all just like, we're like, well, I need to be this big.
Yeah.
So I think from that, like, I really gravitated towards weightlifting.
Interesting.
And I took weightlifting for 4 years as an elective in high school. I thought long and hard about doing a bodybuilding competition, but ultimately decided that I just really don't feel like I'm going to be on a stage getting picked apart. So I pass. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of like, as far as like my health and fitness self-care, I was just lifting weights. I'd never done yoga, but multiple times in my life, people like had made weird like comments to me and assumptions about like, oh, you probably do yoga. You look like you do yoga. Do you do yoga? You look like you do yoga. So I thought that was strange. And then when I was I'd gone through like a crazy breakup. I'd moved into my first like real apartment on my own, not my mom's, not a boyfriend. And in my mail, out of nowhere, came a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, which I was like, what in the world? Mm-hmm. It's like a really hard text, so I didn't really get into it. I mean, I read it through once, but, and there's a lot of lesson in it. I recommend it for anybody trying to deepen their yoga practice.
Can you say the title one more time so it sticks?
Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have my copy.
Okay. Oh.
So it just came to me in the mail. I had no idea why, but it's almost like yoga had been really calling to me for a while. So the book is about yoga. And then I worked my way through a career in hospitality, ended up as a events and catering manager for a restaurant. And I was just like spewing out ideas to drum up brunch service. And I said, what if we had free yoga for like people, and then they would stay and eat brunch? We could pay somebody to come out here and teach it on the green. My boss was like, I love it. Great idea, Noel. And I was like, cool. He said, but you have to be here every day for it. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, when they do it, I want you to be like here, present for it. And I was like, okay. And that's when I started doing yoga.
Wow. So how many years ago was that?
That was, let's see, 2019. Yeah. 2019. It was interesting. We did a series like every other week, and I would go, and at first I was like, this is horrible. You have these weightlifting muscles, they're like short and dense, and then somebody wants you to make long shapes and breathe and move. You're like, what am I doing? Something about it, like after a couple times of going, I was like, this is actually great, and I love it. So one thing led to another. I kept practicing. We did that series through the summer. COVID hit. I was actually pregnant in 2020. So I had my baby, took some time off work. Things were kind of like lulling, shut down with all that had gone on. And then came back to work, and we started doing the series again over the summer because we were outside. It was great. I kept practicing. Then January of 2021, I had a miscarriage.
Okay.
And it was like, it was this thing that like I'd had 2 healthy pregnancies, didn't expect it to be, it just wasn't on my radar. Mm-hmm. So, and I was pretty far along, so people knew that I was going through it. And it just like, I don't know, took something inside of me where when I went back to the restaurant, like to go to work, like the environment and like kind of that, like there's like an underbelly to hospitality work. And I just was like, I quit. I can't do this. Like, I just don't want to, this is energy I can't handle. So my boss at the time, really nice guy, actually gave me like 3 months worth of severance pay and told me that he had so much gratitude for everything I had done for his business. And he wanted me to like have enough to figure out what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. Long story short, I was in a yoga class at the YMCA, and it just like, boom, to my third eye. I was like, I want to teach yoga. And I had done some personal training. Like, I'm a certified nutritionist, personal trainer. I'd done one-on-one clients before, but not like group setting. And I just decided I'm going to do it. And I found a program. It was all of it completely aligned. The women that I met in my 200-hour training were amazing. The teachers, amazing. And I feel like I came out of it like a really great teacher. So
you are.
Thanks. But yeah, I got so lucky meeting these women over at Matthew's Yoga Collective. I call it like my home studio. It's where I teach the most classes. But they've been amazing in giving me opportunity, and that's actually where Swiftie Fitness was born, because they hired me fresh off of teacher training, and they let me take this random 4 o'clock on a Sunday class. And I was like, do you think I could do like themed playlists? And they were like, sure, we love that idea. I did yacht rock, boy bands, hip hop, like whatever. And then one day I said, do you think people will come if I did Taylor Swift? And they're like, maybe. And I was like, I'm going to advertise it that way, like so people know that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
And I put it out there, and the first one that we did had about 33 people at it. And I was like, oh my God. I was so excited. It was the biggest class I'd gotten to teach yet. I was so green. And after that, there were about 5 women that came up to me, and they were like, this was my first yoga class ever. And I was like, what? And they were like, I've always wanted to try, but I was nervous, and I came because it was Taylor Swift. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to bring people to yoga. Like, there's something here. Yeah, so it was really great. And I've since now, I've kept it there once a month. I do a Swiftie flow and I bring friendship bracelets for everybody that signs up. But through that, my relationship with Matthew's Yoga Collective has been very symbiotic. And they just recently sponsored my 300-hour teacher training, which I just graduated. So
Congrats, now that's exciting.
500 hours.
What?
Yeah. And from that, like one of our projects, final project was to put together like 20 hours of a workshop, a retreat, whatever. And one of the ones that I put together coming soon near you is an all too wellness retreat, Swiftie themed. Yeah.
Really?
So I just feel like I've been like given so much opportunity, and the fact that I get to take yoga and fitness and all these things I love, and then, 0.01% of global listener over here is excited to have Taylor Swift in it too. But yeah.
Well, that's cool. So it sounds like even just like these, like when you did yoga and then like the Swiftie music thing, it's like almost like these portals opened up, huh?
Yeah, I think it's actually got a lot to do with just being authentic and following what you love. Like, don't think it's too niche, because it's not. Like, I've seen studios do pop-ups of it, but like I've been successfully running this for over a year now, and I love it like so much. I've done birthday parties, bachelorettes. I have a couple different formats now that I teach. I've done a boxing one, so.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Hell yeah. Well, wow, that's a cool little journey. Well, going back to like essentially her, do you have like a core memory of like a song or a music video or something that you're like?
I have the best.
I'm ready.
Okay, I was born in 1989, so like.
Oh, you're my second 1989 baby.
I grew up with her. We were in high school together. I was literally experiencing all the same things at the same time.
Right.
So my best friend in high school, middle school, high school, her parents knew me like I was their kid. We would always joke. And I would sing Taylor Swift in their house all the time. And one day her stepdad said, that new country singer you like, he was like, you look like her. He was like, and you sound like her. And he meant it derogatory, that he thought she couldn't sing and neither could I. And that's like my number one, like, I have been tied to you my entire life, Taylor.
That is so funny.
But yeah, it's good. I mean, I grew up with like all of that. Picture to Burn was like my anthem for every high school breakup. What's like crazy too is the year that I actually got sober. I quit drinking. It'll be 9 years in January. But the year that I got sober was the year that Reputation came out. And I feel like that album like powered me through, like almost spitefully, just like what I was kind of battling at the time.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's my two cores. Debut, Reputation.
So you literally were like, I'm from day one.
Yeah, I'm day one.
Wow. And even too, when you said Picture to Burn, I'm like, damn, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I didn't forget, but like,
Bop. You cannot sleep on Picture to Burn.
Yeah. Whoa. The portal.
That's like I'm almost 37, like going through a divorce, and I'm like listening to White Horse, just like sobbing. Like,
no, that's a great one.
So relatable.
That's a great one. Well, yeah. So at what point were you like, I'm a like Swiftie?
You know where it came from? Do you know where Swiftie originated?
I don't.
The Wendy Williams show.
Stop.
Yeah.
I love her. I mean, I act like, passed away, but she doesn't have a show anymore,
She's queen, though. She still reigns. So it was an episode of her show. I can't remember the exact year, but she was talking about the whole Taylor Swift, Kanye thing. And it was like maybe a year after that happened, but she brought up something that was going on, and she was like, her fans, her Swifties, and she was like, if they're not calling themselves that, they should be. And
wow.
We should, you're right.
Wait, I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Wow, because I was a big Wendy watcher.
I was too. I love Wendy.
It was, anyways, I know. Just
went out for her.
Have you seen that clip where she's like, clap if you've ever wanted to kill somebody? And they're like, yeah!
She's so good.
I know. Oh my gosh, I love that. Wow. Okay, my brain's blown. But, what I've been asking Swifties, what is your review of her recent Life of a Showgirl album?
You know what? Spotify told me that my number one album of the year was Life of a Showgirl. And I was like, that's cool. Wait, that came out October 3rd. It's not even been out 2 months, and I listened to 2,258 minutes of it.
Say no more, huh?
I love it so much. I do. But number one, top song, Opalite, probably everybody's favorite. Mm-hmm. And when I started reading like these little internet rumors that she supposedly made like an Opalite Christmas theme music video, I was like, ooh, my girl. Which it's so crazy because I definitely feel like her music, like some people don't really appreciate the album until they're like going through something that relates to this stuff. But like for me, Tortured Poets, Life of a Showgirl, like are the same as Reputation, right on time for like what I'm going through in my life. Mm-hmm. I just like I needed the bops. Mm-hmm. Needed them to be bops, and it's crazy because Opalite to me is very like boppy, but then when you listen to the lyrics, I'm like crying like tears of gratitude for everything I've survived in life. Mm-hmm. So I think that's like what makes, I don't know, that's what makes
Chef's Kiss.
Yes, like I love this. You're right, it's beautiful now. You're so right, Taylor. Thank you.
Oh my god. Any thoughts on like the album being like a little bit more like controversial with Wood, or is that just
like people are talking about that? But I'm like, hello, there's literally a lyric. It's kind of making me wet. Like that's provocative.
Yeah, true.
Wood is good. I mean, I like it. It honestly feels a little Sabrina to me.
That's a review. Yeah.
But I think it's fun. I really just like kind of like the vintage sound to it. But as far as the lyrics go, I don't know. I did see that it's like 2 minutes, 39 seconds long. And if you put that in centimeters, it's 9 inches. So now people think his dick is 9 inches.
I mean, I doubt it. I doubt it.
And then people are like, oh, it's so big. But then I see these pictures of this man next to her, and I'm like, 9 inches on that, it's not going to look big. Like, proportionally?
That's hilarious.
Well, yeah.
You wonder, because I'm like, well, just kind of like a car. Like, if a car is that big, is everything inside it big?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, that's going to be like when you look at the body mass to dick ratio. It's just not going to seem that way.
LOL.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Well, I'm just thinking about, like, does he play this weekend? So I can...
I'll look. We'll look, and you'll be like, oh, it's not really, like, I don't see anything crazy down there.
Yeah, I just...
yeah. I
mean, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think they're a good match, and et cetera, et cetera.
I agree.
Okay, so I know you kind of, like, named your top albums, but... Can you name like your favorite, like your number one favorite
album? Oh, it's hard. I think I'm like, you know what's gonna sound crazy, and people like real Swifties judge me for this, but I was a lover girl for a long time, and then I think I kind of like have now transitioned to like my top no skip would be Midnights. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what's it about Midnights that?
It's got like kind of like a synthy pop vibe to it, so they're all really easy listening. Like it's stuff that like I don't know, like doesn't feel like it's like pulling you in one direction, but lyrically, it's like listening to poetry with like synth beats.
Yeah, because I feel like too. Also, given my all the great music that you play in class, I feel like you like really know a lot of music and maybe consciously or subconsciously study it or something, right?
I think so. Well, you know, Spotify said I listen to 321 genres. I didn't even know there were 321 genres.
Like, get it. I was like, dude, do you have a playlist? Because I'm following your playlist. This is awesome.
Really making them. Yeah, I have a deep appreciation for music for sure. Like all sounds, I'm across the board with my taste. Like, and I think that's probably why, like, I can stay a Swiftie because she's given me different stuff, like a little taste of folk, a little taste of pop, a little rock, country, like, you know what I mean? So.
Hell yeah. She's like the whole wheel. Well, so many questions I could ask you, especially since you're like a legit, I mean, you're a Swiftie.
Yeah.
Like I'm just all the vibes. But what is your synopsis or like how does someone, because and I always obsess about this because like I'm a writer or just anything that like I've creatively done, I have this like Tupac like attitude that like someone's gonna like fuck with me or like steal my stuff, like even though like no one knows I'm doing stuff. How does someone, just from your vantage point or like what happened to her, how does someone get their music taken away from them when they wrote it?
Oh, you know what? She talked about this on New Heights when she did it. So this is like, I guess in the music industry, there's a lot of like ways that these labels like kind of like take this in, and there's different ways that you can go about how you sign with labels and what you're offering them. Mm-hmm. But to my understanding, from the way that she explained it with Big Machine, she was taken on there, and the label, not like one individual, but the label owned her masters for whatever amount of time. But then she had her, what did she say? Rights to something else. So she gets to decide how it's used. She just doesn't own it.
Gotcha.
Didn't own it. But she could say like, no, I don't want it in that movie. Yes, I want it in that commercial, like stuff like that. But then when it was sold, Big Machine Records was sold, she was pretty much like the biggest asset that they had. And then it got sold without being offered to her even. So like that whole deal kind of happened like behind her back almost overnight. It's kind of crazy to think about, like, I don't know, that you could be like writing like your high school experience and singing about it, and then now some jackass owns
Obviously they went behind, like who, but do you know who like green lit that happening, or do you think it was several people?
I think it was several people, but I definitely think that Scott, I can't remember his last name off the top of my head right now, but he was her original like manager there, and he's the one who pocketed most off of it, like the most benefit to doing it, executing it went to him. Obviously, Scooter Braun was like, cha-ching, we know what she's worth, let's go. It's crazy.
Yeah, super scary.
Well, I mean, but then like she even talked about like how it really just depends as an artist, like what you value. And like, you know, she's like, I wrote those songs, so like to me, like my masters were very valuable. But some artists like might not agree with that. Like Justin Bieber sold his, but Justin Bieber wasn't like writing his music. He was having songs written for him to perform. You know what I mean? It gives you a different weight to things.
Yeah, and interesting. And he cut ties with Scooter, the same dude.
Yeah. So it's interesting too, like you've got her saying like, this is the way she described it. She's like, I just didn't want like everything that I had made, my experiences, I wrote about like things that happened to me being like somebody else's grandkids inherit that. Like I want my grandkids to inherit that and like what it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, that's just, well, I even do remember real quick, like Dolly Parton, you know, I don't know if it was Whitney Houston or like people that worked for Whitney being like, hey, we want to take the rights to your song or something. Or I don't know. Elvis. I think there's several people.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, y'all can sing it, but
It was I Will Always Love You.
Mm-hmm. She's like, that's my song. Like,
so good. Well, and do you know the story about the re-records? Why she recorded all those albums again?
Just so she could own those?
But you know who told her? Who made the suggestion?
I think I might know this, Kelly.
Yes, Kelly Clarkson. Every release that she's done now, she sends Kelly Clarkson a big bouquet.
Oh, that's sweet. I think she's like really, obviously sweet and thoughtful.
Yeah, and it's also like genius.
Yeah. Well, why do you think she's like, hey, like I'm not gonna? The vibe that I've gotten is, hey, I'm done re-recording. What's your?
Yeah, no, I think she's done. Just from what I've read in like interviews and stuff, I think that whole era that she was in with Reputation, like we all were like waiting for that to be the re-record. You know, to her point, she's like, in her letter that she wrote to the fans when she got her master's back, she found it really hard to find the place that she was in emotionally when she first recorded those songs. She didn't think she could make it better if she re-recorded it. So now that she owns it again, she's not going to. But she did say that there's a couple vault tracks from it we might get.
Okay.
But I mean, I actually think that's like, I don't know, there's something to that being like where I was when I made that, like I can't ever be there again, so it's never gonna sound like that, and that's the most authentic those feelings will ever be.
I understand that. I mean, not that like I'm a singer, but it's just like, hey,
I really want debut re-recorded with like her vocal growth now. Those songs lyrically were amazing, but I do think like her trying to hit that like country twang when she was younger gave her a shaky sound. So I would love to hear some of those songs like with her vocals now.
Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting. Yeah. Wow.
And I think she'll do it. I kind of like feel like she might release it on her birthday.
Okay, so you already get the vibes.
Well, she said in the letter, so when she got her master's back and she puts this letter up to the fans, and it said that she already has it fully re-recorded. So I'm just like, give it to me.
Give it.
I need it.
It's so funny. Yeah, I love it. I love all the nostalgia and the fact that you know all this stuff. Okay, I've got 7 minutes before they cut me off, give or take.
Let's go.
So what is your viewpoint? Pretend I have no idea. What is the Reputation album about? Like, why was she felt like, who was, I mean, obviously I have my own assumption of what it was, but I don't really know. What happened?
So Reputation was post Kanye at the VMAs. I think that's pretty like pop culture wide known when he took the mic from her. So after that, there was a phone call that was half recorded and then dubbed over. Kim Kardashian and Kanye released it. Kanye West puts out a song, calls Taylor Swift a bitch, claims that she said it was okay, he wasn't cutting deeper at her after the VMAs. She was like, that's not true, I didn't say that. At the time, Kim Kardashian was in her prime. All of the little Kim K fans attacked her, called her a snake, called her a liar. They were putting snake emojis all over her social media and stuff. So she went black. She just was like, I'm disappearing. And in that time, that's when she met Joe Alwyn, who she spent 6 years with.
Is that the British guy?
Yes. So the love songs that are like on that album are from her like really like having this like one companionship that she was holding on to that was like her safest person. She couldn't trust anybody else in her life.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, like she
that's why she's so like that's what that's all about, that relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think, too, part of it, like, he didn't want her high fame. And when she first met him, she was laying low. And I do think that that played a factor in him being like, yeah, like, I enjoy this. Because their relationship was very private. But then, like, when she started making music again, when Reputation came out, like, and she was being kind of more public, he didn't want to be, like, seen that way. So, like, most of those pictures from that era, too, are, like, them, like, hiding and, you know, stuff like that. So it's interesting. I think she was in a place of isolation, and kind of that, like, I'm sure we've all been there, that, like, oh my God, you're my soulmate type feeling that you get with that person who, like, finds you in your dark hour, but maybe is really just, like, a bridge to something different.
Fair.
Yeah. But I just, yeah, I think it was a lot going on in her life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're really, like, opening the Pandora's box. And also, too, I have this thing on my Zoom that, like, is going in and out. And I'm
I
like,
see it. I thought you were doing it on purpose.
I'm like looking for a dramatic, like, close-up. Like, I don't know what that's from.
No.
Well, any, like, do you feel like your other friends are Swifties? I've asked a couple people this. Like, do you find, like, all of your friends are Swifties? Do you feel like you're kind of not so much, or?
I have a couple friends that are Swifties. I've actually, like, met a few in, like, the local Charlotte Taylor Swift groups and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, I meet a lot through my classes. But I went to the Eras tour by myself.
By yourself? I didn't know
By myself. I flew to Indianapolis. I was there Indy Night 2, which I think we're all going to find a lot of footage from that in the documentary coming up. So I was super excited because Travis Kelce was at my show.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, she also sang the surprise song Cowboy Like Me, mashed with maroon, and I have a Cowboy Like Me tattoo, so I was really excited to get that.
Aww.
But yeah, so I mean, I've got friends that are Swifties, not quite as hardcore as I am, but
Well, why go by yourself, I guess my question is.
there wasn't anybody else who could afford to go with me.
Fair.
I know. It happened on a whim, though. I almost couldn't afford it. You know, my husband got into a car accident with my kids, and the insurance company gave us, like, a pretty decent check from it. The lady, like, swerved into oncoming traffic, and there was, like, just, like, enough left over for one ticket.
That's fate, huh?
It really, like, was wild, but yeah, I was meant to be there. And actually, before I even had the ticket, I had bought the dress that I was like, if I can go, this is the dress I'm wearing.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
But I guess kind of knowing you and even more through this interview, maybe, like, you were only supposed to go by yourself.
I think I was. It was definitely, like, it was a wonderful experience, honestly. Like, I met this woman who was driving in from Kentucky. I met her in a Facebook group, and she was like, is anybody staying where, like, I could stop by your room and, like, get ready? And we chatted, and I was like, meet me at my hotel. We'll get ready together. Her husband had paid for a parking space downtown already, which were $150. So they met me there. We got ready, rode in together. I have pictures of her and I, like, going in. We exchanged bracelets. We had a really fun time. And, yeah. She was sitting on the other side of the stadium, so once we got in, we were like, goodbye, friend.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I've asked people this that have gone, what was the Eras tour like, you know, in a nutshell?
Oh my gosh. I can't even describe it, to be honest. Like, it was like doing DMT or something.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of like the vibe I get.
Yeah, like, it really was. Like, it was so much. Obviously, like, as a yoga teacher and an energy worker, like, this energy of the space for me was like, it was like being home.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. This has been so cool. Like I said, there's a minute left. Any final vibes? Any, like, Swiftie words of wisdom? Any?
I don't know, man. I just, you know, there's a Taylor song for every feeling.
Mm-hmm.
There's an album for every era. So if you're not a Swiftie, like, find one and get them to give you one song, because there's got to be one that you'll love.
Yay! What'd you think?
That's good.
Round of applause.
Dramatic zoom in.
Dude, it's awful.
It's so good.
Oh my God. Well, I will be in touch.
Are you in the Taylor Swift group? I can post for you.
Restricted backstage area. Swipe All Access Week card now. Welcome to All Access Week, an eyeful of the most talked about tours of the summer. Punch in your card to commence concert activity. Take a deep breath before going up in smoke. The high-profile hip-hop ensemble tour featuring Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and Ice Cube. Tomorrow at 4:30 after TRL. All Access Week. Please remember to take your card.
Hello, welcome to the Katie Black Show. This is my Swiftie series, and today I have Swiftie 11 with me, and you are?
My name's Hannah Heim.
Hello, Hannah. How are you doing?
I'm good. I had to rush to the ATM to get tooth fairy money. My daughter lost her tooth literally,
Oh,
right before this call, so I was in a rush to get that.
that's really cute. I haven't thought about the tooth fairy in a long time.
Somehow my daughter, is meticulous for losing her teeth in the most, crazy times, because she had a dentist appointment today, and she lost it, right before the dentist appointment.
So funny.
It's honestly, maybe I should buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, something. Well, I always ask, before we get into the Taylor of it all, I always ask guests, where were you born / where did you grow up?
Born and raised Charlotte, North Carolina.
Stop!
Yes.
Yay! And I freak out because I feel
there's a lot of transplants.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I'm getting married into a family who moved from New York, so.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I
love Charlotte. I love North Carolina.
Yeah, shout
Politics, maybe not, but
the overall vibe.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So wait, real quick, just pretend I don't know, what was growing up in Charlotte like?
I think the only way that I can describe growing up in Charlotte, your neighborhood had a Facebook page and everyone knew everything. And I'm getting married in September of next year, and I have 6 bridesmaids, and every single one of them have known each other for over 13 years. So since we were in 2nd, 3rd grade.
What high school did y'all go to?
I started at Rocky River and then transferred to Independence. But it's all between Independence, Butler, and Rocky River.
Very cool. Oh, I love that. Like I said, I don't know, ever since I moved away from Charlotte and then obviously came back, and I feel like people are oh, y'all don't exist, but we do. We're just hidden, I guess.
We just, in the hustle and bustle.
Yeah, of it all. Okay, so to Miss Swift, do you have a core memory of when you first heard a song or an album or music video you can share?
I've always listened to her music, and it's conveniently her music has been timed with a lot of different life experiences of mine. But I think my first core memory was honestly, I'm the oldest of 2 half sisters, and one of my sisters was just so obsessed and started decorating her room and putting up her posters. And that's such a big sister thing when you start decorating your wall with posters. Oh, this is more than music now. This is a culture. This is a community. I got to kind of share my love for her music and her lyricism with my younger sister. So then once that clicked for me, we just grew up with continued to grow with Taylor Swift.
That's cool. That's a cool story. Yeah, it's interesting that I guess I've never thought about once you see a poster on a wall as a youth, that's it's a game changer, right?
It's getting a tattoo for the first time. You're identifying yourself, and that's your safe space, and you chose to decorate it with this, so it has to mean something. I absolutely love your background, your wall, and it just reminds me of being able to do that kind of thing.
Oh, thank you.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I just in the last year just randomly started doing art. I mean, obviously I did it as a kid, but same kind of ball of wax. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I like that. So a question I've been asking all the Swifties is, what is your verdict, thoughts, and feels on her recent album, Life of a Showgirl?
I love it. I think that it's happy. It's something that when I think of the album itself and listening to it, you want to be with your girls and like jumping around, and just reminds me of like feathers and silk pajamas and just being bubbly and happy. I personally am still stuck in the tortured poets department. There was just so much to uncover and enjoy, and so I'm still in that like era, I guess, like dissecting it and enjoying it. But this little ball of sparkly light that kind of popped out of nowhere, it felt like. It's both different than what she usually does, and it's the same. But I think it's so fun. But I also think that there is some kind of like heartwarming part of it that you can tell that she has like joy and happiness, and like her own life is always been represented in her music, but now we're getting this truly feel good Taylor.
That's really cool and interesting. I've had a few, because like I said, you're a Swiftie 11, so I feel like I've talked to, you know, the huge chunk at least. There, yes, I mean, it's either 1989 or Tortured Poets Department. And so I recently heard that, I mean, I guess, do you believe that there's Easter eggs throughout the Tortured album?
Yes and no. So I think that like her process of building her Easter eggs and stuff like that, there's a lot of them that are a long time coming. Pun intended, quote intended. I think when it comes to the Tortured Poets Department, because it came out at like a really vulnerable time that we just weren't expecting it, I don't think that she put as much time and effort into weaving in as many Easter eggs as she usually does, because I think that was very much like, I have all of these words and these feelings inside me and I have to get them out. And I don't care if puzzle pieces connect
or not.
And I think that because we're Swifties, because we spend so much time looking into her music and listening and dissecting, that we can find puzzle pieces and Easter eggs and all of that in anything. But I don't think that she put as many in there.
That's interesting. Now, going into the whole realm of Easter eggs, do you feel that's how she's always operated? Because I just feel like, and I've said this on previous episodes, I feel like I've just heard the term Easter eggs from her, like within the last like couple years. What's your theories on that?
I think that it started as like, when she's writing music, when she's putting something out there, she gravitates towards things that mean something to her, like the 13 and just different icons and different things that represent her life. And those, as she was creating more music and more albums, I think that she realized that she could weave things in. And the more, you know, attention that she got, and the more that she realized that people were willing to go the extra mile to like pay attention to the small details, she started putting them in, like capitalizing certain letters in track titles to spell out something, like those kinds of things. I think it just became, oh, this is really fun that they're finding this out, and then it just evolved from there.
I agree. Because I was like, I don't know. Just what you said, I agree. Because, I mean, I just don't think her... Because, I mean, again, another thing, too, she's been, like, in the, like, you know, stratosphere for, like, a long time. So I just don't feel like her initial get-go was to, like, boop, boop, you know...
I don't think she was spinning these webs at, like, 13 years old when she was writing these for the first songs. I think that...
Yeah.
Things started to click for her after Fearless, maybe.
Okay. That's fair. Now, using the term Swiftie, you know, I know you said that, like, you evolved with your sisters, with her music, but, like, at what point do you feel like you were like, oh my God, I am a Swiftie, or I'm a major fan, or however you want to categorize it?
I think that I was just a fan of her music, and I was in theater, musical theater. Like, I loved to sing, I loved to write poetry. So I thought of her as like a very, very interesting artist, and I liked her music. And it's funny, looking back, I would never have thought that I was a Swiftie, but I want to say like 12th birthday, I burned CDs that the title track was 22, like created on Microsoft Paint, a little CD cover that said, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 12. And I would never have thought, when I truly started to get into it as an adult, like that was the starting moment. But I think the lyricism and me just growing up with her, like with her music, kind of created that. But I think the moment that I truly became like a Swiftie was probably around, I can actually think of an exact moment. I was at the beach during our usual family vacation. We stayed up for the re-record release of Enchanted. And we watched the music, like my sister and I, we watched the music video with Taylor Lautner, and we're putting together all of these little things. And I was like, oh, I'm more in it than I thought I was. And by that time, I'd already had my daughter. Like, I was a mom. I was kind of finding my own footing in life. So to realize that it wasn't just another artist for me was probably in those moments where I was like, I really, really enjoy the excitement of staying up and waiting for this, and enjoy and like sharing this kind of excitement with other people.
That's cool. So it's like you really described like a slow burn. I love it.
So much so.
Wow. Yeah, I was telling another Swiftie earlier that I was interviewing, I was like, this has made me like appreciate her so much more, just like talking to everybody and hearing their connections and journeys and what have you.
I don't think I've met someone who like claims to be a Swiftie, at least in person, that hasn't genuinely been just nice.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to the Eras tour twice, and on the second go around, I'm in the merch line trying to buy my merch, and my card declines because I was in a different state, and they're like, oh, fraud. And the girl behind me goes, hey girl, I saw you double check your account to make sure that it wasn't declining. I hope that's okay, but I'll pay for it if you Venmo me. This is like a $300 purchase.
Right.
And she's like, done. And just...
Yeah, like that's nice, right?
Everyone is... we just look out for each other. I think that you put a lot of differences aside because you can agree on one thing, which is you enjoy Taylor Swift and her music. And that's the main focus when you say, oh, I'm a Swiftie, or you connect about Taylor Swift related stuff. And it's such a positive thing to connect on that I've never had a negative situation with people.
That's awesome. That's a good story. Yeah, I mean, or even too, like, just like, yeah, community, like all these, a community of sorts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm trying to, before I ask like the final couple questions, I guess, do you feel like, how do you feel about her, being like outspoken about anything, politics, just certain things that she feels passionate about? Do you feel like that makes you like love her more, or any thoughts on that?
I have always been someone who's been outspoken, just because I think there's just this discomfort of holding in what you feel when it comes to like human rights and such, almost as if it's bubbling inside you, and like you can keep swallowing it down, but it doesn't feel good. So when she decided that she was going to kind of break that barrier and share her own personal political beliefs and stuff like that, I think it was beautiful because she did it at a time where it wasn't just about like red or blue or like what you grew up with. It was a human rights situation. Like, I don't think she did it to like identify herself or separate herself. I think she did it because she felt that she had a responsibility to say something, just like I would hope anybody who had a platform would. And I think I understand having to be very, very specific with what you say and how you say it, especially now. Like, I just founded a nonprofit myself, and I run that nonprofit and I do all of the social media for it. And when you have certain things happen, like border patrol raids, things like that, you have to pick and choose how you're going to represent your brand or your yourself. And I think she just did it in such a tasteful way, honestly. And I think I didn't realize until I was in a situation where I had to represent something other than just my own opinion. I had to represent my brand or my baby, basically. It's a tricky thing to do, but I think she did it in the right way.
I agree. So, 2 more questions. Okay.
Can I sip wine on here?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yeah. There's no rules. No rules. What do you think about, and I know this could what do you think about her relationship with Selena? Like, what's your thoughts on that? Like, do you feel like they connect because they've been in the industry forever? Or, I mean, I think it's a pretty cool, what's the analogy, like ride or die or something? Yeah. I don't know, just your thoughts on that?
I think that it's cool seeing, like, from a perspective of, that's a completely different world. Like, they live on a different planet, basically, than me and everybody who I know personally. And so that life that they live, the fact that they kind of represent, like, their friendship in such normal things, like just a girl going to support her friend, or a girl going to see her friend get married, and like those kinds of things, and like shouting out your friend's accomplishments and making, and cheering for them when they're on stage, that kind of thing. I think it's just a really, really good, what's the word? Not picture. There's a better word for picture, but it's a good picture of just friendship. But on a level that we'll never understand because they grew up, they really grew up in this crazy alternate universe, really.
Totally. No, I agree. So, I know this is hard, but I mean, it can be either or. So initially when I started the series, I was like, oh, what's your favorite Taylor Swift song? But then I was like, that's too hard. So I'm like, what's your favorite album? Either or. Favorite song or favorite album, or both?
My song definitely changes. I think my album changes as well. But I'll say this a little bit quiet. I can hear my fiance playing video games over there. I chose one of Taylor's songs to walk down the aisle to.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the song that I chose was Invisible String.
Oh, wow.
And it just really personifies like our relationship and how we got to be where we are. I love the invisible string theory. I am actually creating my own Easter eggs within all of my save the dates and invites and everything. So all of my invites will have just a little red string, like little red line kind of going through them, either on the back or in the corner or whatever, that you can connect them all. I think the beauty in having a favorite Taylor Swift song or having a favorite album is you can pick a new one every day, every hour, every whatever, or you can listen to the same one for 5 hours straight.
Forever, yeah.
So I think it'll change. I think I have ones that I sing to my daughter. I have ones that I cry to about grief and losing my dad. And it's like just trying on different shoes.
Mm-hmm. That's a great answer. You've given great answers.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, yeah. I mean, I guess that's the beauty of music. And real quick, like circling back around, did you say that you were in chorus for a musical group, or am I just getting are you a singer?
Yeah, I don't want to say.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. But did you drop that? Or am I making that up?
No, yeah. I was in musical theater all throughout middle high school. I actually got a full ride scholarship to go to college for musical theater, and had to stay home for family reasons, and then found out I was expecting my daughter shortly after. Mm-hmm. But music has always been, I like to say I spent a lot of my teenage years grounded, but they never took away my record player. Mm-hmm. So music got me through so much and continues to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was like, you're giving me real, I'm not talking about me in the shower. I'm talking about you give me real singer vibes.
I used to enjoy it. I think that the idea of actually doing it as a career or something like that sounds absolutely terrifying. I hate hearing myself talk and hearing myself sing, but other people say that they enjoy it. So
that's the vibe. That's the vibe.
That's such awesome. A cool vibe to give off, though.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay, so at the very end, is there any final words or thoughts about Taylor or being a Swiftie or anything you want to end on?
When I went to the Eras tour for the second go around, I always joke that it was to justify going the first time, it's a once in a lifetime. And I went twice in a lifetime, kind of.
Which cities did you go? I'm just curious.
So I went to Atlanta, and I was less than 3 months postpartum with my son.
Oh my goodness.
So we brought him, and I was actually pumping in the concert, and had my little cooler bag, and I had ladies behind me because I was conveniently pumping during the song The Man, which was absolutely beautiful. So that was just an amazing moment. So I went to Atlanta, and then when she did her second release, we went to New Orleans, which was incredible. The entire city was just transformed. I've never been to New Orleans before, but everyone talks about how it's dirty and it's not safe to walk around, and there was not a single moment where you couldn't look across the street and see another Swiftie or another girl in sequins or another girl, and everyone just banded together and completely took over the city. And I think that getting to experience New Orleans like that, mm-hmm. You'll never get that again. Mm-hmm. It'll never be the same again because it was just so incredible. Every elevator ride, every Uber, every brunch, you ran into somebody and you started talking, and it was just so giddy. It was being in Barbie's universe or something like that. Everybody was just, it was great.
You know what's so trippy is you are I said, you're Swiftie 11. How many times can I say that? But you are the third Swiftie that has told me that went to New Orleans.
And it was concert. So cool. It was so cool.
That's
I also
awesome.
have a Taylor Swift tattoo. I should have probably said that.
Yes.
I have a friendship bracelet. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
And it says "Long Live" on it.
Oh.
I'm sure that there will be more Swiftie tattoos. But that one was
Cool.
definitely to commemorate the Eras tour.
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been great. You have this is it. That's it.
I know, I hate that. This is such a good conversation.
I know. No, this has been and you're very I don't know. I'm with all the vibes. Great storyteller.
Thank you. I'm all about exposure. I'll take every chance that I can get to get out there and talk and meet new people because you never know. I will network literally anywhere.
Well, that's life, right? That's a great positive aspect too. Because I know some people are just not about that, not about that.
Yeah.
So, and real quick, I do want to add, so you are in a Swiftie Facebook group.
Yeah. I'm in a Swiftie Facebook group for Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still in the Swiftie Facebook group for New Orleans as well because everyone was looking out for everyone. You could message in there, hey, where's a good brunch spot?
Oh, nice.
And the girls were like, oh, here. Or, hey, the lines are really, really long at the pre-sale for stuff. Make sure you bring water or wear sunscreen or whatever. Everybody was just looking out for everybody. And now that I'm still in those groups, I will get notifications of events happening. And that's how I was able to find the Swiftie Sculpt, which was a, Pilates yoga class that was to the new album. And I'm actually trying to make it to a Taylor Swift event this Sunday where there's a ornament exchange, a Taylor Swift ornament exchange, and a bunch of different cool stuff there. And I really hope that I can make it to that one because it sounds super cool, super cool, super fun and cool. So super full. There we go.
No, this is I said, just another example of just community. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Hannah. Did you have fun?
I love this.
Your pictures will never be the same again. Introducing Kodak Perfect Touch Processing. Perfect Touch looks at every picture individually to draw out the details digitally. To make the most of every color, every shade, so your pictures are everything they were meant to be. Remember, you have to ask for perfect touch. So check the box, check the back. Be sure it's Kodak.